Dear students, myself Muhammad Yasin Arfat Khan, Assistant Professor English, Chittagong College, Chittagong. Today we are going to discuss about a very important passage of English first paper. The title of the passage is Hakaluki Haor. It is in Unit 8, Lesson 2. We know in our first paper question there will be 3 passages. In the first passage, we have to answer 5 multiple choice questions. Then there will be 5 short questions. And in second passage, from the second passage, we have to write a flowchart. And in the third passage, we have to summarize the whole passage. However, let's go through the passage first. While going through the passage, we will discuss about the important word meaning and important points of the passage. Hakaluki Haor is a very important resting place for migratory waterfowls flying in from the north. Here first we have to know about the Haor. What is Haor and what is Hakaluki Haor? Where is it situated? Actually, a Haor is a wetland ecosystem normally exists in the northeastern part of Bangladesh, which physically is a bowl or saucer-shaped shallow swampland. We know the entire Sunamganj district, major portion of Hobbiganj district, some parts of Sylhet Sodor Upazila and Maulibajar district are covered by many Haors. In Greater Sylhet, the most prominent Haors are Shanir Haor, Hal Haor, Hakaluki Haor, Dakar Haor, Makar Haor, Char Haor, Tangor Haor, and Kardigi Haor. So we have learned about Haor and the most important Haors in our country. So Hakaluki Haor is a very important resting place. It's a very important place where the migratory waterfowls, which comes from the northern countries in winter, they take temporary shelter over here and take rest for a few months. And migratory waterfowls, what is migratory waterfowls? Actually, birds migration is the regular seasonal movement, often from the northern countries of the world. The movement is normally between the breeding and wintering grounds. However, we are talking about the north. North means the northern countries of the world. Which countries? Here the countries are Russia, Greenland, Canada, the United States of America, Iceland, Finland, etc. This country becomes very cold during the winter, and the birds living over there cannot actually survive over there. They migrate, they move, they shift in the comparatively a temperate country, a hotter country like ours, and take rest for a few months. The most interesting species is the bar-headed goose. Bar-headed goose, the bird is pale gray and is easily distinguished from any of the other gray geese of the genus by the black thin long mark on its head. It is also much paler than the other goose in this genus. So this kind of goose are very much interesting, and they migrate in our country in large number, which is now hardly seen in freshwater wetlands. But nowadays, this kind of birds, this kind of goose are scarcely seen. Many other important species of waterfowls make the Haor their temporary home. Not only this bar-headed goose, like many other birds like bar-headed goose come over here in winter season and take rest. Unfortunately, there are some reasons behind this decrease of the number of birds, and unfortunately illegal poaching has been a threat to the waterfowl population in this vast wetland. So what is illegal poaching? illegal poaching. Poaching, the illegal practice of trespassing on another's property to hunt or steal game without the landlord's or landowners or the government's permission, is termed as poaching. So illegal poaching has been a threat to the waterfowl population in this vast wetland in this Hakaluki Haor. Hakaluki Haor is known as a good grazing land in winter. Not only a resting place for the migratory waterfowls, it is also important as a grazing land. So what is grazing land? Actually, a grazing land is a field covered with grass or herbage and suitable for grazing by livestock. So in winter, the Hakaluki Haor becomes a good grazing land. People from villages around the Haor and also from distant areas send their herds for grazing. So what is herd? People from around this Hakaluki Haor and from very remote places send their herd. A herd usually refers to a group of animals with hoofs like cows or sheep. So people from the local areas and from distant places send their cows, their goats, their buffaloes in Hakaluki Haor during winter season. People from villages around the Haor and also from distant areas send their herds for grazing. However, during this time, herders make temporary shelters near the bills and graze their animals for a period of 4 to 5 months. The herders who look after these herds of animals usually make their temporary shelters over there and live over there for 4 to 5 months. The Haor had very dense swamp forest in the past, but deforestation and lack of conservation practices have virtually destroyed this unique forest in the last 2 decades. We know a very important feature of this Hakaluki Haor is the swamp forest. What is swamp forest? Swamp forest is a freshwater swamp forest or flooded forest, or forests which are inundated with fresh water either permanently or seasonally. They normally occur along the lower reaches of rivers and around freshwater lakes. So we see that one of the most important feature of this Haor is the dense swamp forest. But unfortunately, this swamp forest has been decreased largely due to deforestation, and another reason is the lack of conservation. We are not protecting this swamp forest. 2 small patches of swamp forest still exist in the area, of which one is in Chatlabil and the other near the village of Kalikrishnapur. There's 2 small patches, means a small land area, small portion of swamp forest still available near Chatlabil and near the village of Kalikrishnapur. With the exception of these 2 swamp forest patches, with this small, though the swamp forest here has become very small, but the other portion, other vegetation, other plantation, other trees and other what is vegetation? We have vegetation means plants collectively, especially those found in a particular area or habitat. So the plants, other plants without those small swamp forest, other plants near this Hakaluki Haor, surrounding Hakaluki Haor is unique, still is unique. It includes both swamp forest as well as mixed evergreen rainforest. The other forest in which there are some swamp forest and other evergreen forest. What is evergreen forest? We know evergreen forest, evergreen rainforest are dense, multi-layered plants and animals. These forests are found in the areas receiving heavy rainfall, more than 200 centimeter annual rainfall. They are very dense, even the sunlight does not reach the ground. So however, the thatching material is the most useful material, natural wetland product of the area. So the thing that we get from the thing that is very much useful to the people living near the Hakaluki Haor are the thatching material. What is thatching material? Thatching material is a material as straw, rushes, leaves, or the like used to cover roofs, grain stalks, etc. However, thatching material is the most useful natural wetland products of the area. The Haor system provides a wide range of economic and non-economic benefits to the local people as well as to the people of Bangladesh. So the people who live near the Hakaluki Haor or live far from Hakaluki Haor, wherever in Bangladesh, are benefited from the Hakaluki Haor. These benefits may be some sort of economical benefits or non-economical benefits. The benefits includes fish production, rice production, cattle and buffalo rearing, duck rearing, collection of reeds and grasses, and collection of aquatic and other plants. So these are the few benefits that we get from Hakaluki Haor. The Haor system also protects the lower floodplains from flash floods occurring in the months of April-May, maintains the supply of fish in other lower water bodies, and provides habitats for migratory and local waterfowls. These are also some important benefits that we get from this Hakaluki Haor. So there are two terms over here, two words over here. One is floodplains and another is flash floods. We have to know about the meaning of this or definition of these two words. Floodplains. Floodplain is an area of low-lying ground adjacent to a river formed mainly of river sediments and subject to flooding. And flash flood is a sudden local flood, typically due to heavy rain. However, so when it rains heavily and it floods the lowland, this Hakaluki Haor actually protects the lowlands that near the Hakaluki Haor, and it also helped the people and living far from the Hakaluki Haor by providing the small fish or fries and other fishes, and provides habitats for migratory and local waterfowls. Not only migratory birds who come from the northern countries, but also the local waterfowls depend on Hakaluki Haor for their living. The unique Haor system contributes to the beauty of the landscape both during the monsoon and the dry season. So during the monsoon and in the dry season, there are two different scenery that you can get from Hakaluki Haor. Both the sceneries are unique. In monsoon, its unique scenic beauty makes it a huge natural bowl of water, and in the dry season, it becomes a vast green grassland with pockets of bills serving as resting places for migratory waterbirds. So in winter, it becomes a vast grassland, and there are some small areas of areas of places where still you can see water, but the maximum areas, maximum lands of Hakaluki Haor gets grass, and in rainy season it becomes a huge sea-like water body, and in both seasons it assumes a very beautiful look, and this unique natural system can be a major attraction for tourists. There are a number of benefits that we get from Hakaluki Haor, and if we take care of this Hakaluki Haor, if we provide facilities to the Hakaluki Haor, tourists from home and abroad may go over there and visit the place. So this is our passage Hakaluki Haor. Now let's go to the important questions that may appear in the exam. If it appears in the first passage of our question, then there will be 5 multiple questions. Choose here we have given a few examples of multiple questions. Choose the correct answer from the alternatives. What is the meaning of the word migratory? So migratory, we have to think about the kind of the word. It is an adjective. So in meaning, we'll have to choose those words which are adjective and similar in meaning. So traveling is an adjective, and traveling means to shift from one place to another. Migratory means also shifting from one place to another. Restless is not very close to the migratory meaning. Traveler is a noun and migratory is an adjective, so it doesn't match actually. Native also doesn't match to the migratory. So traveling is the correct answer. While answering this multiple question, we will just write down the correct options, not the whole questions. In B, what does the word wetlands mean? So wetlands doesn't mean sea according to the passage. Wetlands is not sea, it's not land, it may be swampland or marshland. So wetlands is very much close to the word swampland or marshland. It is not also similar to the forest. Then species means some families or kinds or genus like that. It doesn't match to unique variety or example. It matches to the kind or family. In D, what does the word poaching mean? We have already gone through the word poaching. We have given the meaning of the word poaching. Poaching means intruding. It doesn't match to the terminating, annihilating, or interesting. Annihilating and terminating means to killing or destroying. Interesting means something that may be very much interesting to somebody or someone. Poaching means to intruding. What does grazing mean? Grazing means we have already gone through the word grazing. We have gone through the definition and in the word meaning section. However, grazing means feeding land. And there will be 5 important questions. Here I have given a few questions, may be important and may appear in the exam. What is responsible for reducing swamp forest? In the passage we have already gone through the passage, and we have learned that it is deforestation and lack of forestation and maybe environmental pollution is responsible for the reduction of the swamp forest. However, we'll write the answer. I'm giving you students the important clues that you may mention about the deforestation, you may mention about the lack of conservation, you may mention about the environment pollution, and you may refer those reasons as the responsible factors for reducing swamp forest. What makes temporary shelters near the how and why? We have already gone through the passage, and we have learned that the Hadas make their temporary shelter near the Haor. And what do they do over there? Actually, they take their hearts over there and let them graze on the Hakaluki Haor. In question C, how are the people benefited by Haor? The people, we have already mentioned a number of benefits that we get from Hakaluki Haor. It's rice production, fish production, and maybe it's protecting the lowlands from flash floods, and that buffalo rearing, it's duck rearing, collection of reeds and grasses, and collection of aquatic and other plants. These are the benefits that the people get from Hakaluki Haor. What happened to the Haor in the monsoon and in the dry season? We have already mentioned the last portion of the passage, the natural scenario that the Hakaluki Haor assumes during the monsoon and the dry season. You can mention those natural scenarios that the Hakaluki Haor assumes in the monsoon and in the dry season in answer to these questions. However, why is Hakaluki Haor called a good grazing land in winter? We have already told that in winter it becomes a huge grassland with some pockets of bills, and this is the reason this area become full of long grasses, and people from near the villages and from far from Hakaluki Haor come over there with their herds to graze and stay there for 4 to 5 months. However, if the passage come in the appear in the second portion or as a second passage, we have to make a flowchart, and we have to go through the passage very carefully, and we have to make a flowchart like this. Okay, based on your reading, the question may be like this: based on your reading of the passage, make short notes in each of the boxes in the flowchart showing the blessings of Hakaluki Haor. So we have already told you, my dear students, that Hakaluki Haor provides us with a number of facilities, a number of blessings, and one is given over fish production. Like this, you can write rice production, you can write buffalo rearing, you can write duck rearing, you can write other important benefits that you get from Hakaluki Haor. In this way, you can make the flowchart. However, summarization, the last and most important grammatical topic, the question that may related to the passage, may be related to the passage. However, if the passage appear as the third passage, if the third passage, then we have to make a summary or do summarization of the whole passage. While summarizing, we have to keep in our mind a few important points that we have to think about the size of the summarized passage. It cannot be more than 1/3 of the main passage. We have to write down the main or important points of the passage. We should leave the examples and other things that is not important, and after writing the summarization, it should be seemed as a passage whole in whole, and there shouldn't be the sentences in the summarization shouldn't be like this, that there is no relation with the first sentence with the second sentence and the third sentence and the fourth sentence. There should be sync with all the sentences. And if we can write like this, if we can summarize like this, then we can hope to get the highest marks in summarization. However, dear students, thank you very much. I will provide more lessons like this. Stay home and be safe. I wish you good luck. Thank you very much.